Welcome to another edition of Dizzarian Plays MMOs. Today I'm in Final Fantasy XIV, and we're going to be doing the level 10 class quest for the Thaumatgres. I will never be able to say this right, the Thaumatgre Guild. And I'm here on my level 10 Thaumatgre. I've leveled him up. I did a lot of fates to kind of grind out a little bit of leveling since it wasn't too far away when we left the last episode. And since that time, I was able to do the recommended gear and equip that, which I had some stuff in my inventory. So if you're starting a new character, you may not have this, but if you're rolling and just redoing these classes, then you'll have something. I am going to take off this hat because that's pretty dumb. So, as I said, lower gear sometimes in Final Fantasy is just not too good. So we're going to talk to Coco Buki and see what he has to say about the level 10, the Threat of Paucity. Okay, it looks like we're going to get some new stuff. So let's see what he says. Yes, Dizzarian, yes. The aura of power surrounding you is palpable. The glare begins to blind my Thaumatgre's eye. Your lesson today shall be taught by Kokobani. Go to him and hear from the chapter entitled The Threat of Paucity. Paucity, I suppose. I'm not sure what that word means. Paucity. Aha, so Dizzarian, you have come to learn at the foot of the third eldest brother, have you? I promise you. However, your education shall not be third rate. Let us read from the second chapter, shall we? Are you settled? No last moment trips to privacy? Very well. Privy. The Threat of Paucity. I don't know. Ah, how magnificent the ruthless power we wield. Flame devours ice, entombs, and lightning courses through that strickens the body of our foes. But oh, such desperation when the wellspring runs dry. Flame sputters about, ice melts into slush, and lightning sparks no longer. Know you this threat, and mind you the limits of your mortal vessel. Terrifying thought, isn't it? A Thaumatgre who has exhausted his arcane reserve is not but a man with a stick and a funny hat. For we mages, you may as well equate the etheric energy flowing through our veins with our very lifeblood. Should a battle find us lacking in the precious resource, we are as good as dead. Controlling the expenditure of your power requires an understanding of etheric balance. The scales can tip in one of two directions, astrally or umbrally. When your mind and spirit learn an umbral direction, your thaumaturgy is affected by a state known as umbral ice. The potency of your spell is diminished, but that also requires less energy to invoke. On the other hand, Thaumatgre in astral fire state will find the potency of incantations enhanced, but at a greater cost to his etheric stamina. Now, with the concepts of etheric balance and efficient casting foremost in your mind, I bid you go forth and slay 8 ifs. Pray do your best, stay alive. It reflects badly on me when the mauled corpse of one of my pupils is returned to the ossuary. Alright, and if you're going along here and doing this quest, you will have figured out this balance very well, going back and forth and using transpose to flip between the two sides of the power. I actually kind of like it. I like the balance that it does. Also, I wanted to point out that we have gained a new spell since the last episode, which is Sleep. Puts targets and all nearby enemies to sleep, and it lasts for 30 seconds. So it cancels the auto attack and everything else. So that's going to be very handy in certain locations. So it looks like we need to go to Central Thanalan here to Blackbrush Station to get to where the ifs are. And I'm just going to do my teleport there. All right. So I had to look it up, and it's paucity. And it's the presence of something only in small or insufficient quantities or amounts. Scarcity. So that's a new one on me. So we're here, and it looks like these slimy looking guys are what we're after. So let me get rid of my horse here. My chocobo, not my horse. And the way I've been doing this is I've been setting him up by putting lightning spell on him and casting fire spells until I get pretty far down on my MP. probably won't be on this first one. We're going to chain together some stuff here. So you can see here I'm pretty getting low, and so I'm going to switch it up by doing the transpose, which now puts me over. You can see I switched from red to blue, so I'm in the ice area, and that almost immediately puts me back into the fire, so or into full MP. So then I transpose again, and I'm back to fire. So once you start doing this, you get kind of into a little dance that works really well. And I probably should have helped him because I don't want to miss out on the kill. Especially if he's doing the same quest, we might run out of ifs before we are through. Switch over to ice. MP up. And I'll stay in this pose because it takes about, what is it? How long does it take? 8 seconds to recast. So a lot of times you'll be back to full MP before that is done. You don't really have to throw on the damage over time if you don't want. It's just a little bit easier, especially like if you're getting down to the last little bit. Instead of having to cast another spell, you can just let your lightning finish them off. So you can see, like here, I could probably, well, yeah, but that wasn't as high. But I'm going to go ahead and transpose. I'm going to just fire him up. Oh man, I hit the Sunbat, not the Ift. Dadgummit. I hate when I do that. And I could even get much, much further away, too. That's another thing. I sometimes have a tendency to not pay attention to my distance. It's something I need to get used to as a mage-type character. You can see I'm ending back just pretty much full MP and everything else. And like that, I probably should have done my transpose before I started to attack him. That way I would be set up and already have some this meter moving a little bit. Because my damage increases the higher this number is. On the ice side, it's the amount of regeneration, I think, that you get. So you can see we actually can do quite a distance. Also, another thing is, I noticed you have this little orb spinning around you. Oh, depending on which stance you're in. So you see here, we're going to switch, and now I've got a white orb running around. Oops, I don't want to cast fire. Dadgummit. Mess that all up because I was talking. And just need 2 more. 1 more. Alright, good. That guy's not working on him as fast as I am. I'm trying to blow through it. He's standing around waiting for me, I guess. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not going to worry about dodging out of that. It's not hurting us enough. And there's number 8. So let's go back to Ulda and turn this in. Okay, so we've made it back. Let's turn this in to Coco Bonnie. Aha! You arrive before me, upright and breathing. Wonderful. It is such a simpler to pose questions to a student without having to resort to necromantic divination. Tell me, what action would you take if you found your thaumaturgal endurance exhausted in the midst of battle? Yeah, I'd probably... Well, we should probably flee, right? Oh, no. Oh, ho. Most practical indeed. A discreet withdrawal to await your replenishment of energies is a sound strategy. But should there be nowhere else left to run, a vial ether can be your stoutest ally. Ah, ether. The draught of gods. We thumbs are indeed any who practice the arts of arcane manipulation value this substance above all others. Thus, it is with unbridled fury that we receive the most recent report of Beastman activity. It sees the Almaljaw raiding party has attacked a caravan on the trade routes and made off with an entire crate of precious ether. The time has come for you to put your knowledge to the test. Annihilate these Almaljaw bandits and retrieve the cargo of ether-filled vials. According to the report, their armored war transport was last spotted south of Drybone. I believe the Boki has an additional request while you are busy incinerating the Almaljaw. Be sure to collect some samples of their blood, assuming you could draw any from their smoking remains. Very cool. Okay, so let's take a look to see where this is at. We can see it's in eastern Thanalands, south of Drybone, which is, if you've been leveling other characters, you go to Camp Drybone quite often. So that's the reason I have it as a favorite location. It would only cost 99 to get there, which we will do. Okay, so I've arrived at Camp Drybone, jumped on my chocobo, and we're heading to the location, which doesn't look too far out. It looks like it's up here in this little area. Actually, it's just right here. Here's the armored war transport. There's another person here. Dadgummit. Let me let him finish first. Okay, so he finished. I killed one of those guys over there while I was waiting. Armored war transport. You sense hostile presence. The Almaljaw Ravagers. These guys are only level 7 though, so they're not too difficult. That was it. Obtain blood from the Almaljaw. Well, that's not from them, but we'll go ahead and click this here. So we investigated that. Take the crate of ether and Almaljaw blood to Coco Bonnie at the Thaumatgre. Alright, this time I don't have enough. Or my return is still on cooldown, so I'm going to have to pay to get there. Alright, once again, Coco Bonnie. Do I detect the scent of ether? And I trust that stench is the Almaljaw blood. Yup. Oh no, 10 vials, 20, 30? The sight of so much ether is just so very comforting. What have we here, Coco Bonnie? Is that crate is this the crate that was stolen? I see Dizzarian's lessons have a desired effect. I will assume the vile, vicious liquid you have there is Beastman blood. Coco Busi should be pleased. Oh, it's that one person again. Coco Buki, you left word for me to visit the ossuary. Have you finally decided to begin my training in the Thaumatgre? Oh, Chokubusi. Good of you to come. Dizzarian here was kind enough to obtain a supply of Almaljaw blood for you. An alchemist acquaintance of mine explained how you had been using the substance in your research to create a mana-amplifying elixir. Naturally, we're most interested in the results of such experiments. So you see, Busi, your work as an alchemist already puts you in the position to work alongside us. You needn't become a Thaumatgre to be a part of the family. That's right, Busi. Besides, the battlefield is a dangerous place, and our skills are not exactly suited to keeping others safe from harm. I see. This is but another attempt to dissuade me from pursuing my true calling. I do not want to cheer you from the safety of my workbench. I want to fight at your side. Busi, we just cannot stand the thought of you being harmed. Pray, do not do anything foolish. Oh, I feel he's going to do something foolish. Sigh. I do apologize, brother. I sometimes forget how difficult it must be not having a natural aptitude for the arcane arts. As I mentioned before, Dizzarian, Chokobusi is dangerously unsuited to wielding of Thaumatgre. Even in the proper training, he would be unable to cast magics as we can. Where he attempts to force a manifestation of power, the strain on his Aetherith reserves would likely kill him. But let us not dwell on the unpleasant circumstance, for you, on the other hand, are brimming with thaumaturgic potential. Remain diligent in your studies and do not cease in your efforts to expand your wellspring of power. Little dudes. Aww. All right. So this copper scepter we get automatically because the weapon is what changes your class. So we will always, in these class quest videos, be getting a new class weapon at the end. So that's kind of cool. This looks like what we've already got on, and so is this. Although that one looks a little better, so we'll likely take that. Very good. So the next class quest. Oh, so copper. Oh, we're gonna get a new maple shield too. So I'll do that and refresh, update my gear, just like that. That way I can easily switch back and forth. So that's going to do it for this episode. It looks like the next one is at what, level 15? Let's just take a look and see. Yep, level 15. So we'll do that whenever I get this character back up to level 15. I hope you're enjoying these episodes. If you are, make sure you hit a thumbs up or any comments you may have. If you've got another class that you would like to see me do this with, please let me know. I think I might do a lot of these, so should be interesting for the channel. So if you have ideas, please let me know. And if you haven't yet, you really should be subscribed and trying to put out videos almost every day of the week. I'm back up to that schedule already, so that's awesome. If you're subscribed, you can get notification of that. So please do that if you haven't already. So till next time, bye.